Good afternoon and welcome to Red Dragon Soccer Field on the campus of SUNY Oneonta for the second round of the 2011 NCAA Men's Division III Soccer Tournament. Today's game is between the Penn State Behrend Lions and the Oneonta State Red Dragons. Your officials for today's game: referee Scott Reynolds, assistant referee Don Maynard, assistant referee Dan Harms, and the alternate official at the score table, Neil Riddell. And now let's meet the Penn State Behrend Lions. First, the Don starters. Number 2, Jeremy Hall. Number 3, Tyler Eiseness. Number 8, Phil Brodus. Number 12, Jacob Sewell. Number 16, Pat Johnson. Number 18, William Elchik.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Red Dragon Soccer Field here on the campus of SUNY Oneonta. Alongside Greg Barra, I am Billy Blake. Round 2 of the 2011 Men's NCAA Division III Soccer Tournament. Oneonta and Penn State Behrend were winners in yesterday's games right here at Oneonta. These two teams are red hot, Greg. 9 straight wins for Penn State Behrend, 16 straight wins for the Oneonta Red Dragons. What will Oneonta have to do to make it 17 straight today?
Well, Oneonta played a very crisp game yesterday when they played their opponent. They just need to continue to play how they played yesterday. They connected a lot of passes. They were dominant in their win. They come out here today and do the same thing. They should be able to be victorious. For Penn State Behrend, they were dominated in the second half by Hobart in their 1-0 victory over them. They played very well to start off the game. That's going to be key here. Which team can get off to the right on the right step? As you saw, Penn State was able to get an early goal, and Oneonta led up an early goal. They were able to come back and score 2 goals to win their game. Which team can really jump out and take momentum in the beginning of this game?
Are there any key players on either team that stand out to you today that could possibly be the difference maker in the outcome of the game?
Well, Oneonta, obviously, Nick Lang and Eric Fortier. Definitely, there was goal scorers yesterday, very potent to watch. As for Penn State Behrend, I haven't seen them as much. Like I said yesterday, in the second half, they were really on the defensive. They were on the defensive for the last 45 minutes. So they just need to be able to push it forward, really get it to their forwards. They scored 50 goals this season in a 16-game regular season. That's incredible. So Oneonta has to watch out for the firepower of this Penn State Behrend Lions team.
It's the Penn State Behrend Lions and the Oneonta State Red Dragons. The winner goes on to the round of 16 in the NCAA Division III tournament. Please stay tuned.
Coaches for Oneonta, Jeff Moore and John Cook, and the head coach of the Red Dragons, Ian Byrne. At this time, we ask that you please rise and gentlemen remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem, sung today by SUNY Oneonta senior Wallace. good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives, as well as public intoxication, the consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco products are grounds for removal from this side of competition. Thank you, enjoy the game, and good luck to both teams. I'd like to remind everybody that there is a concession stand that is open in the far northeast corner of the field. The bathrooms are located inside the field house on the atrium level. And don't forget to download your game program, your digital game program from the NCAA at ncaa.com/game program.
Oneonta and Penn State battling for a spot in the final round of 16 in what could possibly be the last game here at Red Dragon Soccer Field for Oneonta this season. Alex Schreckley on the field for the Red Dragons gets the ball to Fortier, and Fortier goes down but no call. Here is Penn State Behrend's Jake Gamble with it. Kicked on downfield. And there's a foul on Oneonta, a free kick for the Lions.
We have been told here in the booth that Gary Laurent and Matt Brown are not going to be able to play today.
And that is absolutely huge for Oneonta. They, both Brown and Laurent, had huge parts in the 2-1 victory yesterday for the Oneonta Red Dragons. There's a free kick, and that shot goes wide of the net. Baldwin Wallace, the Oneonta's opponent yesterday, got a goal early on in the game, and the Red Dragons woke up and scored 2 goals to get the 2-1 victory. Here's the game's first goal kick of the afternoon. It will be Max Siegelman, the senior from Roslyn Heights. And he kicks that one away. A little bit of a wind out here today in Oneonta. Oneonta with possession around midfield. It's Jeff Christian, and he plays it back to Nick Gregg. Gregg over to Scott Taglione.
Taglione taking over Matt Brown's spot from yesterday.
Ball in the corner for Schreckley, but he won't get there. And it is a corner kick for Oneonta.
Let's see if Oneonta can take the momentum that they had yet in yesterday's game and continue to put pressure on the Penn State Behrend Lions.
And it will be Nick Lang taking this corner kick for Oneonta. Lang gets set. Ball to the far post. And Chris Bolea, it is Chris Bolea, the goalkeeper for the Lions, who catches that ball and urges his teammates to get downfield.
Yeah, good play there by Bolea to be in the right place at the right time. Someone from Oneonta should have been able to challenge that one.
And yesterday we saw the Red Dragons outnumber Baldwin Wallace in corner kicks, much more opportunities off the corner kicks yesterday for Oneonta. And they get their first win of the day, but couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and for Penn State Behrend Lions, yesterday it looked like Hobart really just, in the opening couple minutes, they were hit by the emotions of being in this tournament, and the Behrend Lions were able to take control of the first couple minutes. With this being the second round game, we'll see how these teams come out in the first. We're within the first 4 minutes, and both teams trying to show what they can do.
Eric Vunovic goes down for the Lions. foul called on Oneonta, and Penn State will get a free kick. Free kick from just around midfield for the Behrend Lions. Ball in the box, right to Max Siegelman, the keeper. Siegelman gets rid of it quickly, up to Schreckley. Garrett Fiskus on Schreckley, who plays it back to Taglio. Now it's over to Nick Gregg. Now Ray Fitzpatrick with it as he crosses midfield, loses his footing, and now the Behrend Lions with possession.
And the footing is going to be it's going to be an issue today. While we were walking on the field a little bit, we saw that it's very wet, and there's going to be a lot of divots, much like what we saw yesterday.
Oneonta with possession, that's J.P. Arenas. Garrett Fiskus on him. Schreckley plays it back to Taglione. Now it's over to Jeff Christian. Dan Scott with it along the far sidelines. Gets it up to Fortier. Fortier with Jack Leslie on him. And that ball's taken away by the Penn State Behrend. Throw in for the Red Dragons. Here's the freshman Justin Rivera splitting defenders, looking for J.P. Arenas, and that ball's taken away by Jake Gamble. The Behrend Lions with possession. Over to Garrett Fiskus. Back to Kyle McKinney. McKinney looking for a teammate upfield, but nobody is there. And Dan Scott will chase it down for Oneonta. Opening minutes in the 6th minute of the first half. Oneonta and the Penn State Behrend Lions in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Here is Schreckley with it off of a nice touch by J.P. Arenas. Schreckley trying to turn on Michael Lebzinski. And the Behrend Lions clear it away. Nick Gregg over to Scott. Rivera looking for Fortier. He goes down, and there's a foul on the Behrend Lions. Free kick for Oneonta. And Greg, in the opening minutes of this game, a very calm feel to it.
Yeah, both teams seems like they're trying to feel each other out to see what they're gonna bring it towards each other. But this free kick could cause problems for the Behrend Lions.
Ball into the box. Headed up. Bolea, the goalkeeper, going out for it. And it's a foul on the Red Dragons. Yesterday's game between Baldwin Wallace and Oneonta, very fast paced early and often. But today, this being the second round, the winner goes to the round of 16, loser goes home. You do not want to make a crucial mistake in the early minutes. And you look at the 4 teams that were in this group: Hobart, Oneonta, Baldwin Wallace, and Penn State Behrend Lions. The Lions were the 4 seed in this group. Oneonta being the 2 seed, but were able to host the first 2 rounds because Hobart couldn't, because their women's team had to host the NCAA tournament. There's a lot of contact, and going down for Penn State was Aaron Meal. And that will be a yellow card issued to Scott Taglione.
Yeah, Taglione there didn't get any of the ball. It's definitely a yellow card.
So the clock will stop in the 8th minute for that yellow card. And the Penn State Behrend Lions will get a free kick. Kyle McKinney will take this free kick. Majority of the players getting set in the box. Kick goes up. And a Lions player going for the header, and it goes out of bounds for the Red Dragon goal kick. Siegelman will let his teammates reset downfield. No score here in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Fortier looking up for JP Arenas. And there is a turnover by the Red Dragons. But Shreckley gets it right back for Oneonta. McKinney on him. Ball headed on by the Lions. Coming down with that one was Jimmy Belak. Lions still with possession. Jake Gamble. Scott Taglione on Gamble. Gamble still with possession, trying to turn the corner. Ball in the box. And Nick Gregg plays it up to Nick Lang. Ball played to Fortier in the corner. Fortier still with possession. Over to Christian. There's a shot, and there's a goal.
That's world class right there. That is incredible volley. What a shot.
Jeff Christian, a huge goal for the Oneonta Red Dragons as Oneonta strikes first to take a 1-0 lead.
What a goal.
His first goal couldn't have come at a better time than this. No Matt Brown, no Gary Larond. And Jeff Christian is able to step up in a big way for the Red Dragons.
Oneonta goal scored by number 15,
And he popped this one up to himself. And as we see, you see it here. The finish of the replay is he pops it up to himself and he hits it in, which is just beautiful.
Right up and over Bolea, who never really had a shot at that one. A big goal for the Oneonta Red Dragons. Here's a quick throw-in for the Lions. Tried to catch Oneonta sleeping, but the Red Dragons defense held up. Eric Vunovic plays it back to Eric Hackworth. Over to Gamble. Gamble still with it. And he plays it back to Vunovic. Ray Fitzpatrick takes that ball away. And Jeff Christian gets it over to Skrelly, who just plays it back to Gregg. Nick Gregg back to Skrelly. Aaron Meal all over Alex Skrelly. Oneonta still with possession. Fortier in the box. Plays it across. And the Lions are able to head it out. There's Justin Rivera. And that shot gets blocked. Ball up in the air. And Jake Gamble has it for Penn State. And that one will roll out of bounds for the Lions throw-in. "12 minutes in, and Greg Oneonta has that 1-0 lead, but yet we still have somewhat of a slow pace to this game.
Yeah, really, I think, like I said earlier, I think it's still very early in the game. These two teams are trying to feel each other out, see how they're going to do. Oneonta had a nice shot and a goal from distance, so they're both still trying to figure out each other's offense.
There's a shot by Gamble, but it is wide, and Siegelman will have a goal kick. The crowd continues to file in here at Red Dragon Soccer Field. A Sunday afternoon NCAA tournament and what possibly could be the last game here at Red Dragon Soccer Field for Oneonta this season. The winner of this game will go on to play the winner of St. Lawrence and Western New England. Ball in the corner for Jimmy Belak.
And Belak was the one who got the only goal for Penn State Behrend Lions yesterday in their 1-0 win versus Hobart.
And going back to the ending of that game yesterday between Hobart and the Penn State Behrend Lions, the Lions could take a huge sigh of relief after the way Hobart attacked the net in the final seconds of that game.
Oh, of course. Hobart was dominating for pretty much the entire second half. I've never seen a team be dominated for 45 minutes and still come out with a win, but the Behrend Lions were able to do it.
And the Lions dominated the majority of the first half in yesterday's game, and so far through the first 14 minutes of this first half today, it's been all Oneonta.
I think it's been a little bit closer. Oneonta definitely has the 1-0 lead, and they've had the majority of possession, but I wouldn't say that Oneonta has dominated the first 14 minutes so far. It's been a little bit of a give and take here, but Oneonta fortunate to be up 1-0.
A free kick for the Lions. Not much going on there, but they do get possession back. Vunovic gets around a couple of Oneonta defenders, and it's cleared away, but the Lions still with possession. Eric Hackworth over to Kyle McKinney. And now Oneonta has possession at midfield. That's Justin Rivera, the SUNY Rookie of the Year.
And it seems like Rivera has been pushed up to striker position.
Skrelly is on sides for the Red Dragons. Keeping the ball in bounds, plays it into the box. To the far post, but nobody is there. Dan Scott with it. Plays it over to Rivera. Rivera into the box, but Chris Balea is there for the Lions. And he urges his team to get back downfield. Balea with the kick. Headed on by Jake Gamble. Couldn't find a teammate, and it's out of bounds off the head of Nick Gregg, so Penn State will get a throw-in. That ball is kicked on by Hackworth. Gamble keeping it in bounds. And now it's out.
Oneonta has to do a better job of connecting some passes together. They don't want to just kick the ball up and run onto it. They really have to be able to string some passes together as we're just into the 16th minute here.
And again, you mentioned a change in position for Justin Rivera, obviously, with no Matt Brown and no Gary LaRonde on the field. Yeah. Everybody on the field has to step up, not just Rivera.
Yeah, it looks like Oneonta's playing with only Fortier as the striker.
And Jeff Christian certainly stepped up for the Red Dragons, getting his first goal of the year, coming in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
And Nick Gregg's got to get back as he loses possession here. But Penn State isn't able to do much with it.
Penn State 13-6-1. Oneonta 15-2-2 entering today. These are two teams that are red hot. 16 straight wins for Oneonta, 9 straight for the Penn State Behrend Lions. Skrelly trying to get around McKinney. And there's a shot off the side of the post.
No, I think it was punched out there by Balea, so it would be a corner kick.
A corner kick for Oneonta. 1-0 Red Dragons, 17th minute of play. As usual, it will be Nick Lang taking the corner kick.
Nick Lang, an impact player, obviously, in yesterday's game with the equalizer and the penalty kick.
A low line drive kick by Lang. There's headed on, and there's the goal.
That's 2-0 here.
Eric Fortier will get credit for that goal, and it's a 2-0 Red Dragon lead.
And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but do you know what I'm going to say, Billy?
Let's hear it.
2-0 is the worst lead to have in soccer.
So Eric Fortier was able to get ahead on it.
Oneonta definitely needs to bury one more.
And let's take a look at the replay of that corner kick.
There was a nice corner here to the penalty area, and it was flicked up there, and it's in no man's land, and Fortier, just being aware, is able to put that one top shelf.
A great flick on by Alex Shrekley to get the ball to Fortier. Penn State couldn't get a hold of Fortier in time, and Oneonta with a 2-0 lead, but as you said, Greg, 2-0, not the lead you want in soccer.
Well, also Fortier, it did look like he was just a missed assignment. Nobody was on him.
Lang with it, and he plays it back to Fitzpatrick.
Lang telling his team to just calm down, take it easy here.
Red Dragons looking for Skrelly, but the Lions defender comes over, trying to keep it away from him. Ball still in bounds, Oneonta with possession. Ball played back to Taglione. Lang plays it back to Greg. And Fitzpatrick plays it right back to Nick Gregg. Red Dragons with a 2-0 lead and threatening again, but Penn State is able to get it off of their half of the field for the moment. Christian looking for Fortier in the middle of the field, but to no avail, and it will be a kick for Chris Bolea.
Yeah, a 2-0 lead for Oneonta. They were able to score their 2 goals within the first 17 minutes of this game. They have been efficient with the limited numbers of shots that they had, as this is going to be a nice ball in.
There's Jake Gamble.
With the limited number of shots that they were able to get so far, they're up 2-0. So Oneonta definitely being efficient, making the most of each and every opportunity.
Jake Gamble couldn't keep it in bounds, and Siegelman will have another goal kick, and it's been a pretty quiet day so far for Siegelman through the first 20 minutes of this contest. Gamble looking up for Jimmy Belak. And Fitzpatrick comes over and takes the ball away from him. There's a foul on the Lions, and it'll be a free kick, and a quick free kick at that for Oneonta.
And they're going to make him redo it.
What adjustments would you like to see from the Lions if they want to get on the board in this game, Greg?
You know what? They should probably try to connect some passes. It looks like we might have a little nosebleed here, but we have I got Mike Weltman here with a story. Mike.
Thanks, guys. It would be interesting to see if Oneonta can keep this lead. When I talked to coaches in the past, they said that 2-0 is the hardest lead in soccer to keep, meaning that you get complacent with your lead and you let it slip away. Back to you.
No, absolutely. That's what I was alluding to earlier. But for the Lions, you know, they just need to string together some passes, get some flow going. Like I said, Oneonta has made the most of their 2 opportunities. The Lions haven't really played poorly. They just need to string together some passes and get some pressure on Max Siegelman.
Chris Pembridge is in the game for the Lions as he replaces Jimmy Belak. Nick Lang plays it back, and
That could have been dangerous.
the Lions ramping up that pressure. Michael Lebzinski with it for the Lions, trying to find Jake Gamble, but it's out of bounds, and the Red Dragons will get awarded the throw-in. There's Jeff Christian trying to find Justin Rivera. Fortier looking for Rivera, but he is offsides, and Penn State will get the free kick. And looking at the other side of the field in Oneonta, what will they have to do to keep this 2-0 lead and advance to the round of 16?
I think they're doing well right now. They have to, you know, like we were saying, Mike and I, about the 2-0 lead. They need to get a third. They get a third goal, they should be sitting pretty, but they just need to keep doing what they're doing. They're not playing as crisp as they were yesterday, but they're still getting the job done.
And let's go to sideline reporter Mike Weltman. Mike.
Thanks, guys. The training staff has brought over a bike for number 9, Gary Lalonde. Gary was injured in the last game. He has a little hip flexor tweak. He's going to try to warm up on the sideline, hopefully get back into this game. Back to you.
So that's interesting. We thought that he was going to be out today, but he might make an appearance. But if they go up 3-0, there's no need to put him in.
Of course, you'd rather have him fresh and 100% for the next round. They will get some time off in between today and
if they win today.
On Saturday, yes, assuming they do win the game. Here's McKinney for the Lions. Ball played, trying to be played in the box, but Dan Scott is able to keep it out of harm's way for Oneonta. There's Lang with it for Oneonta at midfield. Looking for Skrelly. On to Arenas. JP Arenas working with Eric Hackworth. And that is going to result in a throw-in for the Red Dragons.
Yeah, throwing deep in their offensive third. We'll see if Oneonta can put some pressure on Valea, the keeper for Penn State Behrend Lions.
And you look at the play of Bolea today, a great shot by Jeff Christian, and then a great header by Fortier. Not much he could do to stop either of those 2 goals.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. That's like the goal against Siegelman yesterday. It's one of those things where you just have to tip your hat and say, well, I got beat.
Mike Lebzinski is crossing midfield for the Lions. Over to Eric Vunovic. And Vunovic plays it back to Jack Leslie. Not much pressure applied on Leslie at all. Looking up for Aaron Meal, but it will go out of bounds, and another goal kick coming up for Max Siegelman.
And we're in the 25th minute now. Oneonta up 2-0 as Max Siegelman switches the field here.
So Siegelman boots it away. The wind going against Siegelman in this first half.
Yeah, and you can see the ball really got hung up there on his goal kick.
The Lions with possession. Garrett Fiskus playing it back to Leslie. Over to Vunovic. Looking for Gamble, but it was a little bit too far out of his reach. And a throw in for Oneonta. And now we'll get another quick throw in for the Red Dragons. JP Arenas at midfield with it for the Red Dragons, but that one's taken away by Peter Brewer.
And this could be an opportunity here for Fortier.
Fortier on to Skrelly. Skrelly with the shot, just wide.
Skrelly's got to do better with that one. He had an open shot at the net, him and the keeper, and just a miss hit there. Looks like you have to try to get it to the far post, try to beat the keeper near post, and missed everything. As you can see, JP Arenas trying to tie his shoes there and fix his gloves.
So Bolea will kick this one away. He's got the wind helping him in this first 45 minutes of play. Lions with possession. Jack Leslie looking over his options. And the Lions turn it over. Nick Lang onto Scott Taglione. And now the ball's back in the feet of the Penn State Behrend Lions. It's Jack Leslie looking up for Chris Pembridge, but Raymond Fitzpatrick comes over and takes that one away. That back line for Oneonta has been solid all season long with Nick Gregg and Ray Fitzpatrick. That one is out of bounds and will be a Lions throw-in.
As we see our first substitution of the game for the Penn State Behrend Lions, it's number 21, Sean Pulaski, coming in for number 7, Peter Brower.
So the Lions throw it in, and it's back to Nick Gregg. Skrelly looking for Lang.
And they're going to call a free kick here. As you could hear, probably Coach Ian Byrne for Oneonta getting a little, voicing his opinion to the referee.
29th minute of this first half. Oneonta Red Dragons and the Penn State Behrend Lions, second round of the NCAA tournament. And the Red Dragons have a 2-0 lead. Goals by Jeff Christian and Eric Fortier have been the difference so far this afternoon. Lang tries to get around the defender, but McKinney takes it away. And that one is taken away by Penn State's Michael Lebzinski. But Arenas takes it right back. Oneonta looking for goal number 3. Ball in the corner, and Oneonta will get the throw-in. There's the long throw in by Lang. Ball in the box, and Bolea is able to corral that one.
There's a nice flick on there by Nick Lang. Unfortunately, no one was on the far post to bury it.
Bolea with the goal kick. Comes down on the feet of Jeff Christian. Christian plays it back to Fitzpatrick. Over to Scott, looking up for Fortier. But that one was headed away by Hackworth. Here's Rivera. Plays it to Arenas in the middle of the field. Over to Lang. Lang to Rivera. Finds Arenas. Fortier back to Scott. Jeff Christian looking back to Arenas, but it was blocked away for the moment. There's a shot, and Bolea is able to save it.
Redirected there by Rivera, unable to get it past Bolea, but good consecutive passing there by Oneonta.
Aaron Meal plays it back to Garrett Fiskus. Eric Hackworth searching upfield for Chris Pembridge. But Siegelman comes out and gets it back to Ray Fitzpatrick. Fortier looking for Rivera. Out of bounds for the Red Dragon throw-in. Here's Jeff Christian. Eric Vunovic on him. Over to Rivera.
That's going to be a foul on the Penn State Behrend Lions, so Oneonta will have a free kick about 20 yards. Oh, it's not a foul, actually. It was a throw-in.
Another quick throw-in for Oneonta. Christian plays it across the field to Taglione. On to Fortier. And coming over and taking that ball away is Eric Hackworth. Hackworth was looking for Jake Gamble, but Dan Scott got in the middle of those two. Another throw-in for the Red Dragons. 33rd minute. About 12 minutes to go in this first half, and the Red Dragons with a 2-0 lead. Taglione over to Arenas. Skrelly plays it into the box. Headed away by Vunovic. And there was a foul on Oneonta, free kick for the Lions. Sean Poloski trying to create there for the Lions, but nothing doing that time. Ball goes out of bounds right in front of the Lions bench. And it'll be a throw-in for Oneonta. Skrelly is double-teamed. McKinney and Poloski all over him, and it's Poloski who comes away with the ball. Looking for Pembridge, and that one is cleared away by Lang.
Hey, Kevin, ball please. Ball please. Thank you.
Here's a throw-in right around midfield for Kyle McKinney. Ball in the middle of the field. Jeff Christian comes over. That ball's in the box, but Siegelman comes out and takes that ball up before the Lions could get anything off that opportunity.
Yeah, that could have been costly.
That's Dan Skies. He plays it back to Fitzpatrick. Taken away by Jake Gamble. 48 looking for Rivera, but it's cleared away. And now head coach Ian Byrne goes to his bench. It'll be Dan Josepher into the game. And now the clock will stop in the 35th minute. So 35 minutes in, Greg, and Oneonta up 2-0, really controlling every asset of this game so far.
Yeah, they have been doing very well, up 2-0, obviously, controlling the tempo of this game. But can't stress it enough. They need this pivotal third goal. As Ian Byrne said yesterday, the next goal will be pivotal when we interviewed him at half, and I believe it's the same thing. The next goal that is scored is going to be pivotal. It's either going to be 3-0 and Oneonta is going to be in cruise control, or it's going to be 2-1 and Oneonta will be on their heels.
Addison Straub into the game for the Red Dragons. He's in for Justin Rivera. And for the Lions, Jimmy Bielak re-enters the game for Chris Pembridge. Josepher loses his footing. Team still battling for possession. Ball played back to Nick Gregg. Fitzpatrick over to Taglione. Lions with possession. That's Aaron Meal with Raymond Fitzpatrick on him. And that one's taken away by the Lions' Aaron Meal. Ball in the box. Nick Gregg is there and he clears it away.
And that's something that Oneonta is really going to need to clean up. They're getting, the Behrend Lions are getting too many opportunities in the box that if they get one touch, they're going to be able to really challenge Max Siegelman. So Oneonta really got to clean it up in the back.
Hand of all on Oneonta. A free kick for Kyle McKinney and the Penn State Behrend Lions. 37th minute, 2-0 Oneonta leads. A low free kick. That ball goes up in the air. And it goes out of bounds. Throw-in for the Lions. Jimmy Belak will take this throw-in for Penn State.
We are in the 37th minute of this game. Oneonta up 2-0.
Headed on, and Siegelman makes the save. Headed on by a Penn State player. That was 14, Eric Hackworth. But Siegelman is able to keep it out of the back of the net, and that's really been his first test this afternoon. But a goal here by the Lions late in this first half would really turn the momentum around in this game. You don't, if you're Oneonta, you don't want to let that happen after getting 2 goals early in this game and in front of your home crowd. Do not want to let them down.
Yeah, you don't want to lose the momentum of this game. It's out of bounds. You can see the field being ripped apart so far in the early going of this game.
McKinney with the Lions throw-in. Sean Pulaski in the corner battling with Nick Gregg. Over to Garrett Fiskus. Ball played on, and there's a header by Jake Gamble, but it's up and over the crossbar. 2 more subs for Oneonta. Mike Boland, number 16, and number 13, Mitchell Kane, into the game, replacing Nick Lang and JP Arenas. Siegelman ready to go with the kick. Ball up in the air. Comes down to Dan Josepher. Played back to Boland. Over to Taglione. That is out of bounds, and Penn State gets a quick throw-in. Aaron Meal chasing after that one, but he couldn't get it, and it's out of bounds, and the Lions applying some pressure in the final stages of this first half.
Yeah, like what we were saying, Oneonta has a 2-0 lead. I don't think they've been dominating. The first 25 minutes, they were controlling the game. Now the Lions have taken the pulse of this game as Oneonta makes a little bit of a push here.
That's Jeff Christian, who finds Addison Straub. Vudovic guarding Straub, and that one goes up, and
that's a miscommunication there. The goalie should have been able to wave him off. The defender never should have touched that. Now it's a costly turnover.
Luckily for the Lions, that was not a goal.
Yeah, it could have been an own goal as well, off the shin guard.
But Dan Josepher will get a corner kick. Ball to the far post. Christian trying to get a shot off, but he couldn't. And he plays it back to Taglione. And Christian playing it back to Greg, and the Lions bench really urging their players on the field to get up on the Oneonta defenders and apply more pressure. And they do force the turnover. It's Aaron Meal. Plays it in the corner to Sean Poloski. Ball in the box. Not a Lions player around, and Ray Fitzpatrick plays it out to 48.
As we approach 4 minutes to go in this first half.
Straub keeping it in bounds. It actually goes out of bounds, and the Lions will get a throw-in. A late sub here in the first half for the Lions, as number 8, Philip Brodus, will come in the game for number 4, Kyle McKinney.
Be sure to download your official NCAA Championship
There's the
digital game
Lions throwing.
laptop or mobile device at ncaa.com/game.
Goes out of bounds, and it'll be another throw-in. Another sub for Penn State, number 3, Tyler Azenas, in the game for 21, Sean Poloski. Vunovic with a sliding tackle, no call, just will be a throw-in for the Red Dragons. Addison Straub trying to get there for Oneonta, and it's cleared out of bounds by Jack Leslie. Josepher with it for Oneonta. Josepher had to contend with 2 or 3 Penn State defenders, and the Lions were able to clear it back to midfield. 48 couldn't keep it in bounds for the Red Dragons, and it's a quick throw-in for Penn State, and the ball's played back to the keeper, Bolea. There's Jimmy Belak trying to get it to Garrett Fiskus, but Jeff Christian says no. Jake Gamble over to Lebzinski. Back to Hackworth. And Azenas was looking for Phil Brodus, but he lost his footing.
And this could be a costly turnover.
That's Mitchell Kane, the freshman. Looking on for Addison
Oh, that's
Straub.
got to be a PK.
And
That's got to be a PK. And that will be a card.
So a yellow card in the 44th minute for Penn State Behrend Lions. A huge call there.
Yellow card, is that on 10? Number 10.
And it will be a yellow card on the Penn State Behrend Lions, and Oneonta will get a penalty kick. Greg, a monumental call there in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a scoring opportunity. He has to call that.
The Red Dragons have a great opportunity to take a 3-0 lead late in the first half.
You put it 3-0 in the first half. It's going to be real hard for the Lions to come back.
Dan Josepher will take this one for the Red Dragons. Kick, and Bolea gets the right side, but he couldn't get there in time. A goal for Dan Josepher, and it's 3-0 Oneonta.
Beautiful placement. That's where they teach you to put it, right? You're almost passing it into the corner there. It's almost impossible to get to one of those balls. Josepher putting Oneonta up 3-0, and it's a definite uphill battle here for Penn State Behrend Lions.
Here is a replay of that PK by Dan Josepher. Little stutter step on Bolea. And he goes low to the right.
And there's nothing you can, that's a beautifully placed PK.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half.
And Oneonta has to finish this half out strong. Don't let the Lions score a goal before half with a minute to go.
Ball in the corner. That's Eric Vunovic. That is out of bounds, and the Lions will get their first corner kick of the game.
And they're putting everyone in the box here. They have one defender back, and that's number 3, Tyler Azanis.
Less than 1 minute left in the first half.
Coming over to take the corner kick for the Lions is Mike Lebzinski. It's a low kick. Ball in the box, and Taglione gets it up in the air. And that shot by Vunovic is well high, and it will be a corner kick, or excuse me, a goal kick for Siegelman.
30 seconds to go in the first half.
And the Oneonta defense was able to stop any opportunity that the Lions had right there. Siegelman with the goal kick, and that will just about do it for this first half. Oneonta Red Dragons with a 3-0 lead over the Penn State Behrend Lions.
And you honestly couldn't ask for a better first half from Oneonta. Maybe not execution-wise, but scoring 3-0, incredible. They did control most of the half. I don't think they were dominant, but they controlled it. They made the most of their opportunities, and they're up 3-0 right now going into half. And they just have to keep playing their game. It's going to be a real uphill battle for the Behrend Lions.
And here is sideline reporter Mike Ullman with head coach Ian Byrne. Mike?
Thanks, guys. Coach, great first half, 3-0. What are you going to do to keep this momentum rolling on to the second half?
Yeah, I think we're just going to start the second half like it's 0-0 and, try and win the second half. We've got a strong win behind us. We're fresh, we're quite deep, so we're just going to keep rolling some guys at you and just keep going forward, try to get a fourth, and, I think at 4-0 it'll be hard for them to get back in the game.
I was just going to ask you that. You think 4-0 is going to be a safe enough lead to secure the W?
Yeah, nothing's ever safe. You never tell the team that, but I think at 4-0 with a strong wind, second day of a doubleheader is always, physically it's always difficult to keep yourself going. So I think if we can get one more, win the second half, that's our goal.
You mentioned that it is the second day of a doubleheader. You have a couple key players out. Are they going to try to get in, or is this lead significant enough to keep them on the sidelines?
I think Gary's not going to make the game, so he's a no-go. Brown's out for the game, so we've lost 2 starters for the game going in. But the guys, it's a team effort. The guys all year we've been deep, we've been coming in, picking each other up. So we'll just go with what we've got.
All right, thanks, Coach. We wish you the best of luck in the second half. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. It is halftime here at Red Dragon Soccer Field, the second round of the NCAA tournament. We will take a quick timeout. At halftime, it's the Oneonta Red Dragons 3 and the Penn State Behrend Lions 0.
My pot of gold, your daddy's little girl, till heaven home.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There's a lot of talk out on the street about his mother, your mother, their mother. But in the end, is anyone really even thinking about them?
All right.
And welcome back to Red Dragon Soccer Field. Start of the second half. Oneonta with a 3-0 lead over the Penn State Behrend Lions. Jeff Christian, Eric Fortier, and Daniel Josepher all scoring goals for the Red Dragons in the first half. And the winner of this game will go on to the round of 16 in the NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Tournament. And the winner will play either St. Lawrence or Western New England. And Greg, a dominating, well, not a dominating, but a controlling first half for Oneonta. What do you expect to see from them in the second half?
They got to keep the pressure on. What Coach Ian Burns said was spot on. They need to try to get a fourth goal. You can't let off the gas pedal, because one goal and then the Behrend Lions could be right back in it. Although they do have a tough task of being down 3-0.
Oneonta attacking from right to left now in the second half. And Scully got it to the corner. Ball still in the box. Fortier plays it back to Rivera. Quick action here in the second half as the Red Dragons look for that fourth goal. Ball comes out to the Lions' Jake Gamble, but he couldn't keep it in bounds. It'll be an Oneonta throw-in.
And something to note, the Behrend Lions got thoroughly dominated in the second half of their game against Hobart. And we're going to be able to see what their character is in the second half. They are down 3-0. Will they lay down, or will they continue to fight?
And also, too, fatigue has to become a factor. These two teams both played yesterday. Now they already have 45 minutes under their belt today. Do you expect to see fatigue settle in as this second half rolls on?
Well, we don't know as much, obviously, about the Behrend Lions than we do about Oneonta. What Coach Ian Burns said, that his team is very deep, so he can rely on his bench. We are not sure how the Behrend Lions, how deep they are on their bench, if their starters and their reserve players are 1 and 1A, or you know, it's a significant drop off.
Lions looking to get it to Gamble, but Scott Taglione takes that one away, and he gets it upfield to J.P. Arenas. And Arenas, actually a transfer from Manhattanville to Oneonta, and Brockport was able to beat Manhattanville 1-0 last night in the SUNY. Again, Oneonta and Brockport representing the SUNY in the NCAA tournament this season.
And this could be an attacking free kick here for Oneonta, as they're just outside the 18-yard box. As it looks like Nick Lang will be taking this one. No.
Dan Scott will.
Dan Scott, excuse me. Nick Lang is actually on the sideline, so just been informed. So, excuse me for that one.
Dan Scott ready to go. Low kick. Back to Greg. Greg just outside of the 18, but it is wide.
Yeah, and you know, Nicholas Gregg knows how to get it into the back of the net. When he was a freshman, he scored a number of goals before he was moved into the defense.
So Chris Bolea will get a goal kick for the Lions in the 49th minute of play. Red Dragons with a 3-0 lead. Jeff Christian going down for Oneonta, and Aaron Meal also goes down, but it's a foul on the Red Dragons, and the Lions will get a free kick. McKinney, as usual, will take the free kick for Penn State. Looking downfield for Jimmy Belak, but he couldn't get it, and Siegelman picks it up. Christian at midfield, looking for Arenas.
Arenas trying to do a little fancy footwork there.
Ball still in the middle of the field. Christian back to Arenas. looking for Fortier. And that one is out of bounds.
But what we like to see from Oneonta so far, continued pressure on the Behrend Lions, not taking their foot off the pedal. So Oneonta trying to get that 4th goal. Can the Behrend Lions muster up anything to try to make this less than 3-goal deficit?
Ball up in the air, headed on by Fitzpatrick. Over to Gamble. Played across to Vunovic. Ball still in the middle of the field, and Nick Gregg keeping it away. Ball comes down to Peter Brewer. Red Dragons take it away. It's Justin Rivera. Rivera on to Fortier. And a yellow card issued to Oneonta's Justin Rivera. There has been some pushing and shoving throughout this game, Greg. And
yeah, I mean, it's been a physical battle, and as this game becomes more increasingly one-sided, it's going to continue to be that way.
Jack Leslie will take the free kick for Penn State. As play resumes now, clock back on and running. Leslie plays it over to Kyle McKinney. That's a costly turnover as Mitchell Kane crosses midfield, looking up for Fortier, and the Lions clear it out of bounds. Over to Fortier. Still with it. On to Rivera.
Oh.
There's a shot and a save by Bolea.
Nice save. What a rip by Rivera.
Rivera had a good look. Bolea got a leg on it, but the Red Dragons will get a corner kick out of it. Here's the corner.
Over everyone, no one's there.
Ball back to Scott. And he plays it back to Taglione. Arenas finds Skrelly. Now the ball's with Kane. Kane plays it in the box. And it's cleared away by Vunovic. Taglione trying to get it to Arenas, and it's cleared away by Penn State. Ball has been on Penn State's half of the field for the early part of this second half, and obviously not where the Lions want the ball.
And they're starting to get chippy here, the Lions are. They're starting to commit a lot of fouls, and they got to contain themselves, and they have to start getting some momentum, start chipping away. This is not how they're going to win the game.
A free kick for Oneonta's Mitchell Kane. Penn State clears it away. Jimmy Belak looking to turn upfield. On to Gamble. Gamble finds Fiskus in the middle of the field, and he plays it back to Gamble. Headed on by Peter Brewer, but not much going on that time for Penn State. And that is out of bounds for the Oneonta throw-in. 54th minute, Red Dragons up 3-0. There's Fortier, on to Skrelly in the box. Scully is there. He goes down. No foul called.
In a 3-0 game, I don't think he was going to call that one.
If the Red Dragons were to get a second PK,
for them to get another PK, it's going to have to be blatantly obvious.
that ball's in the box, and Siegelman comes out and corrals it as the Lions were trying to get it to Peter Brewer. Kane at midfield. Here's Dan Scott. There's Arenas. And Bolea will scoop that ball up and let everyone reset downfield. On to Gamble. And McKinney with it. Taglione comes over and gets in the middle of those two. And now the clock will be stopped. The yellow card issued to the Lions' Jack Leslie. A few cards issued so far today. Greg, would you expect to see more as the second half continues?
Absolutely, especially if the Red Dragons parry a fourth one, then it's going to get really chippy and it could get ugly.
Throwing for Oneonta. Back to Fitzpatrick. Turnover there, that's Garrett Fiskus.
And Penn State has numbers.
Jimmy Belak with the shot, but it is high and outside, and it will be a goal kick.
Belak was the one who scored the lone goal for Penn State yesterday.
Ten minutes into this second half. Still searching for a goal in the second half. Oneonta's game yesterday with Baldwin Wallace, a 2-1 win for the Red Dragons. No goals by either team in the second half. All 3 goals in that game in the first 45 minutes. Here's Vunovic with it for the Lions. On to Brewer. Back to Vunovic. Vunovic with Dan Scott all over him, and Scott is indeed able to get the ball away. Rivera up the sidelines. Gets it to Kane in the middle of the field. Ball out of bounds off of the lines, and Oneonta will get a throw-in. Lions with possession. There's Fiskus in the middle of the field, looking for Belak. But the Oneonta defense keeps the ball away from Jimmy Belak. And Arenas with some momentum.
And that's going to be another yellow. That's going to be another yellow. This is what I'm saying. This is getting very chippy here. A number of yellow cards being... I wouldn't be surprised if there was a red card here today.
JP Arenas. Somebody grabbed a lot of his jersey, and there you see him. He appears to be okay. And again, as you said, Greg, wouldn't it be a shock to see a red card? We still have plenty of time in this game for that to happen. We're only in the 57th minute. A free kick for Dan Scott. Scott ready to go. And that ball's headed out by the Lions. Fiskus looking up for Belak, but Nick Gregg was there. Lions with possession. Played on to Aaron Meal. Meal looking to Gamble in the corner. Gamble keeps it in bounds. Fitzpatrick on Gamble. And Gamble goes down, but no call. Eric Fortier crossing midfield. And the Lions take over possession. That ball's cleared down, but nobody in the vicinity for Penn State. And Max Siegelman, the goalkeeper for Oneonta, will scoop it up and let his players get downfield and get a little breather here as we approach the 60th minute of this game. That is out of bounds, a throw-in for Oneonta. Kane with it, searching for Christian in the middle of the field. Over to Garrett Fiskus. Now it's back to Oneonta's Dan Scott. Here's Mitchell Kane, who gets it over to Rivera. Back to Arenas. Christian onto Skrelly. Balea, the keeper, comes out and is able to get on it first before Skrelly could get there. Oneonta knocking on the door in the second half as well.
In the 60th minute, it is still 3-0 Oneonta, but you're right, they have gotten a couple of nice looks at net.
They don't need a fourth goal, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. Here is Scott, able to keep it in bounds, and it's over to Fortier. Ball taken away by the Lions. That's Peter Brewer crossing midfield with it for Penn State. Played back to Vunovic. Fitzpatrick and Meal going after that ball, and Oneonta away with it. And that one's cleared away by Eric Hackworth. Back to Jeff Christian, who finds Scott Taglione. Ball in the box, it's Christian. Already has one goal today, and he crosses it, but nobody there for the Red Dragons. And that will roll out of bounds, and Penn State will get a throw-in. A sub for Penn State, Sean Poloski, back in the game for number 22, Aaron Meal. And you look at the second half so far, Greg, really no opportunities for the Penn State Behrend Lions on Max Siegelman in the second half.
Yeah, Oneonta has been able to dictate the flow of this game, and really the Behrend Lions haven't been able to do much.
62nd minute. All Oneonta goals by Jeff Christian, Eric Fortier, and Dan Joseph are on a penalty kick. There's Justin Rivera, taken away by Mike Lebzinski. And now a sub for Oneonta as Ian Tenzer will see some action in the second half, and he will replace JP Arenas. Oneonta with possession. That's Nick Gregg. Plays it over to Fitzpatrick. Dan Scott looking for Fortier, but Lebzinski was there and had it for the moment, but Oneonta gets it right back. There's Jeff Christian. Gamble on Christian. And the Lions regain possession. And now we'll get another stoppage of clock, and that will be a yellow card on Jeff Christian. Greg, things are certainly looking like they're going to get chippy as we go down these last 30 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. And just as we've been alluding to before, it's just going to get worse probably.
It looked as if Christian said something to a Penn State player, and the ref overheard it and stopped the clock and issued Jeff Christian a yellow card. 64th minute. Penn State has a lot to do with time dwindling down. Ball just outside of the 18. It's Fitzpatrick in the corner. There's Rivera. And that is out of bounds, Oneonta throwing. Fortier heads it on for Oneonta. And Jack Leslie plays it back to Hackworth, who just gets it back to Bolea, but that goes off the side of Bolea's foot. And that will be a throw-in for the Red Dragons. A little mishit there by Bolea. Rivera in the corner. On to Fortier. There's Kane in the box, but the Lions clear it away.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the Penn State Behrend Lions have done much to make any adjustments to get themselves in a position to score any goals.
And let's turn it over to Mike Gwaltman. Mike.
Thanks, guys. In the bracket that Oneonta is playing in, St. Lawrence is beating Western New England 2-1. Babson and Trinity are tied 0-0. Rutgers Camden is playing the Wesleyan University at 5 p.m. That game break is back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. And the winner of this game will go on to play the winner of that Western New England St. Lawrence game, as we get a few new legs into the game. Addison Straub in for the Red Dragons for Justin Rivera, and Aaron Meal back in the game for the Penn State Behrend Lions, replacing Mike Lebzinski. Ball crosses midfield onto Taglione. There's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick trying to find Addison Straub, but the Lions have it, and it's Vunovic.
A lot of jersey grabbing as they're going to let him play on.
Tenzer just overpowered Vunovic and took the ball away from him, but it is out of bounds, and Oneonta will get a throw-in. Another sub for Oneonta, Mike Boland, re-enters the game for Jeff Christian. Penn State clears it away, and Mike Boland plays it back to Greg. Here's Fortier. Oneonta with it in the corner. Skrelly goes down, and it will be a free kick for Penn State. And the clock will stop here in the 67th minute, a 3-0 lead for Oneonta. And you look at this Penn State Behrend Lions squad, Greg, 3 seniors on this team, a team loaded with sophomores and juniors, and it looked, barring a crazy comeback here, it looks as if their season will come to an end. But this team coming here to Oneonta and upsetting Hobart yesterday, the #1 seed in this pairing, a team definitely had a lot of fight in them.
Oh, absolutely. You have to give them a lot of credit. They've done a phenomenal job, and they've won 9 straight coming into this game. They've scored 50 goals, 51 goals this season in 20 games, and that's incredible. So this team's got a lot to look at this season as positives. And once again, this isn't over by any stretch, but it's going to be a tough road, and they really got to start doing something right now if they want to win.
Aaron Meal, Kyle McKinney, and the keeper Chris Bolia are the 3 seniors on the Lions roster, and that is McKinney right there, ready to take this free kick as play is about to resume. There's Addison Straub, double teamed by Peter Brewer and Sean Poloski. Eric Fortier in the corner.
That's going to be another card.
And we will have another card here. That's a yellow.
That might be that's a second yellow, and that's a red.
So Jack Leslie picks up his second yellow card of the game. So he will get a red, and he is done for the game.
And now it's 11 to 10. Oneonta is now up a man, and I think he has to leave the whole facility.
This could certainly get ugly as the second half goes on. 68th minute, a 3-0 lead for Oneonta. And with the Penn State Behrend Lions down by 3 goals and a man down, it is not looking good for Penn State. Jack Leslie, the sophomore defender from Mars, Pennsylvania, issued a red card here in the 68th minute. And Penn State down a man for the remainder of this game. Ball around midfield. Ian Tenzer comes down with it for the Red Dragons. Nick Lang battles with Aaron Meal at midfield, and Meal comes away with it. There's Meal. And Brewer plays it back to Hackworth. Hackworth looking up for Jimmy Belak, but the Red Dragons take it away. Here's Straub. On to Tenzer. And Brewer couldn't keep it in bounds. Oneonta will get a throw-in. Greg, how does the game of soccer change when a team is man down 11 on 10?
Well, you just got to. It's tough. It's a lot about assignments. Gaps are now open that weren't open before because you have a man there. But you can make some things happen, as we saw. The national team, I know this is talking about a national team, but when the national women's team tied up against Brazil this summer, they were actually a man down. So, I mean, there's still things you can do even down 11 to 10.
And with Oneonta up 3-0 and a man up as well, certainly hold the advantage in this second half.
Well, the Behrend Lions haven't been able to muster up anything throughout this game, to be honest. They haven't. Max Siegelman has not really been tested much at all.
We are in the 70th minute, 20 minutes to go in regulation. That ball is headed out by Dan Scott. Both teams going to their bench. Dan Josepher back in for Oneonta for Eric Fortier. And Mike Lebinsky is back in for the Lions, replacing Sean Pelowski. Ball cleared away by Hackworth. Jimmy Belak with possession, but Nick Gregg clears it away. Nick Lang keeps it in bounds along the far sidelines. Finds Josepher. On to Tenzer. Ball back to Dan Scott. Dan Scott finds Kane in the middle of the field. Boland over to Lang. Josepher rips a shot, but it is wide of the net, and it will be a goal kick. And now head coach Ian Byrne going really deep into his bench. 4 new subs for Oneonta. Jonathan Kowalski, Jordan Flores, Tim Sagasti, all in the game for the Red Dragons. Dan Kane is also on the field, so it's Kowalski, Dan Kane, Jordan Flores, and Tim Sagasti all in the game for the Red Dragons. Dan Scott, Addison Straub, and Alex Schreckley come out of the game for Oneonta. Vunovic with it for the Lions. Gets around one man. Over to Gamble. Gamble tried to head it on to Jimmy Belak. Lions get possession back, and there's a turnover. Nick Lang on to Josepher. Over to Kowalski. Over to Flores. And that is out of bounds. A throw-in for Penn State. Penn State with possession right in front of their own bench. Now the ball gets back to midfield. Gamble trying to find Belak, taken away by Dan Kane just into the game. Boland gets it for the Red Dragons. Over to Flores. Flores was looking for Kowalski, and he couldn't keep it in bounds. Lions get a throw-in. Ball in the middle of the field for the Lions. There's a handball on Oneonta, and a free kick coming up for Penn State. And Greg had to help today that head coach Ian Byrne didn't have to go to Gary LaRonde or Matt Brown today.
And their absence really wasn't a significant part of this game. And I guess that's a good thing that injuries didn't affect the play for Oneonta. As Ian Byrne said, his team is very deep. It gives those players time to recover from whatever injuries that they have suffered. We're not sure, but gives them time to recover. And if they can hold on to this 3-0 lead with 15 minutes to go, it would be nice to have them in the Sweet 16. And it looks like we might have a keeper change.
So head coach Ian Byrne really spreading the wealth in the second round of this NCAA tournament. Mike Boland just outside of the box. Here's Kowalski, and that's a goal. Jonathan Kowalski picks up a goal in the 75th minute, and Oneonta gets a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, and it's a good job there by Kowalski, just placing it into the top shelf. But it was a great ball, and Kowalski just finishing.
And let's see that goal again by Kowalski.
As you can see it in the back of the net.
Right in the back of the net for Kowalski, who was just into the game. And you don't see this every day. We also have a sub for the goalkeepers, as Daniel DeBatis, the freshman, comes in for Max Siegelman.
Yeah, the freshman getting a first taste of the NCAA tournament, as it is 4-0 here with less than 15 minutes to go.
And that goal by Kowalski pretty much puts the exclamation point to this game. Oneonta a man up, as Jack Leslie was issued a red card earlier on in the second half, and Penn State down by 4 goals and a man down as well.
Penn State, it doesn't seem like they had the fire, the passion today. It never looked like they really wanted it. Oneonta, they played all right. I don't say they played spectacular. They made the best of all their opportunities, but it seemed like the Penn State Behrend Lions just weren't ready to play.
And you have to wonder how much energy that win against Hobart yesterday took out of the Penn State Behrend Lions.
That's a great point. They were on the defensive for 45 minutes, and they came up with a 1-0 victory. And who knows how much that took. The last 5 minutes of that game was one of the most unbelievable finishes that I've ever seen.
You could argue that win yesterday was one of the bigger upsets in the NCAA tournament, a 4 knocking off a 1.
No, it was a big win for Penn State, and they did a great job.
And for the Red Dragons, there's Josepher in the middle of the field, but obviously them being able to host this tournament certainly helps their morale a little bit. There's Lang playing it to Kowalski, keeps it in bounds, and Bolea is there to get it before Josepher could get a good foot on it.
And just reminding everyone, Penn State Behrend Lions are a player down. It is 11-10, as the Penn State Behrend Lions had Jack Leslie sent off with 2 red cards.
A chilly Sunday afternoon in Oneonta, New York, and we are about 12 minutes away from the end of regulation in Oneonta. Looks like they are on their way to the round of 16. There's a free kick by McKinney.
And what a job by Ian Byrne. This team has been great all season. 14-2-2 in the regular season. A win yesterday. Looks like they're going to be a win today. You got to give congratulations to him getting this Oneonta team. It looks like to the Sweet 16. You don't want to say that they're already there. It is 4-0 with 12 minutes to go. We've seen crazier things happen in sports, but Coach Ian Byrne has done a great job here.
Daniel DeBatis gets a goal kick. Penn State with it. Nick Lang and Jimmy Belak got a little tangled up. A free kick for Penn State. Ball played into the box. Headed away by Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's Hackworth. Headed on by Gamble. Looking for Belak, but again, Ray Fitzpatrick is there to take that one away. 79th minute now of action. Kowalski plays it to Josepher in the corner. And there is a slide tackle. No card will be issued. It's going to be a free kick. Josepher will take this free kick at a pretty good spot for Oneonta. Ball played to the 6, and Kowalski was there, but cleared away by Penn State. Ball headed back out again by the Behrend Lions. And it's played back to the keeper. Ian Tenzer with it in the middle of the field. Gets around a couple of Penn State defenders. Over to Sagasti. And that one is taken away by Kyle McKinney. Nick Gregg back up to Sagasti. That one was taken away by Peter Brewer. Ball played back to Garrett Fiskus. Lebzinski now with it. Searching for Aaron Meal, but Oneonta regains possession. 82nd minute of play, less than 10 minutes to go. Red Dragons with a 4-0 lead over the Lions. Josepher trying to turn the corner. Lost his footing. No foul called.
We are just under 9 minutes to go in this round.
There is a foul on the Red Dragons. It will be a free kick for the Behrend Lions. Free kick looks like it will be taken by Lebzinski, who is joined alongside by Eric Vunovic, and it actually will be Vunovic taking the free kick. Ball in the box, but Nick Gregg clears it away. Ian Tenzer at midfield, waiting for some teammates to get downfield, and he finds Josepher. Josepher looking for Jonathan Kowalski. Kowalski in the box. Plays it to the middle, but nobody is there for Oneonta. Ball was taken away by Eric Hackworth. Hackworth looking for Jimmy Belak downfield. Fitzpatrick is there. Back to Belak, and Belak outnumbered, and that one falls in the hands of Dan DeBatis. Tim Sagasti along the far sidelines. Ball played across the field to Kowalski, but headed away by Lebzinski. This could be a turnover by the Lions. It's Tenzer with it. Finds Kowalski just outside of the 18. Josepher back to Lang. And Sagasti was looking for Josepher. Penn State broke it up momentarily, and Oneonta still with possession, but that ball's turned over as Aaron Meal comes in front of Nick Lang and takes it away. Nick Gregg crossing midfield. Played towards Ian Tenzer in the corner. He tries to chase it down but won't get there. And the Penn State Behrend Lions will get a throw-in.
We are just under 6 minutes to go here in the ball game.
New sub for Penn State as Phil Brodus re-enters. He will replace Eric Vunovich. Dan Kane intercepts that pass, and he finds Nick Lang. Over to Kowalski. And there is a foul on Oneonta. Penn State will get the free kick. And that red card, looking back, that red card on Jack Leslie really took a lot of life out of that Penn State team.
You know, it was 3-0 already, and Penn State really wasn't doing a lot. And as I said, it almost looked like the Penn State Behrend Lions didn't come here to play. As you alluded to earlier, it was a very emotional, draining game against Hobart yesterday. And, I mean, really that could have taken a lot out of this team. And it just didn't seem like they came to play.
Western New England and St. Lawrence are tied up at 2 goals apiece. Again, the winner of that game between Western New England and St. Lawrence will meet up with Oneonta in the round of 16. Ball in the middle of the field. The Lions with it. Over to Garrett Fiskus. McKinney with possession, and he just plays it back to Hackworth. Kowalski comes away with that ball. Boland. Over to Lang. Lang to Sagasti. McKinney on Sagasti. A little bit of a collision there, but play goes on. Tenzer in the box. And offsides. And it will be a goal kick.
And so, with under 3 minutes to go in this game, I think there's a lot that Oneonta could take from this game. You know, they didn't play the greatest of games, but they were very efficient with their shots. They had 8 shots on goal and 4 of them went in. That's definitely great.
And let's send it to Mike Owen with some scoring updates. Mike?
Thanks, guys. St. Louis and Western New England are tied 2-2 in overtime. Babson and Trinity are tied 1-1. Babson tied it in the 88th minute. Back to you.
Of course, it's NCAA action. Nobody wants to go home at this time, and some great games around the country. But Oneonta put together a great game today without Gary Lorine, without Matt Brown, and they have a 4-0 lead as we have 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for Kyle McKinney and the Penn State Behrend Lions. Lang over to Boland. And Kowalski playing it back to Jordan Flores. Jack Gamble with it for Penn State. had a little bit of a miscommunication there with Aaron Meal.
We're about to reach 1 minute to go left in this game, and for the Behrend Lions, who are going to be going home, once again, a very respectable season that they've had. 13 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie, and they got to the round of 32 in this NCAA tournament. You got to be happy about that. It's a young team, and they'll probably be here again next year.
They are a relatively young team again, only 3 seniors on the roster. A team loaded with sophomores and juniors. They came into this game winners of 9 straight. You want to be playing your best soccer at this time in late October, early November. And they certainly did that, but Oneonta has put together a 16-game win streak of their own. And that 16-game winning streak will turn into 17. There's a shot from Jimmy Belak, and DeBatis eats that one up. And a standing ovation here by the crowd at Red Dragon Soccer Field, less than 10 seconds to go. And this one is in the books. The Oneonta Red Dragons get it done on their home field this weekend with wins over Baldwin Wallace and Penn State Behrend. And Oneonta is going to the round of 16 in the NCAA tournament. Greg, your overall thoughts on this weekend?
You know, I think that this weekend, Oneonta played a exceptional game yesterday against Baldwin Wallace. They really controlled most of the game today. They played well, and it showed. They won 4-0. I just think that they overpowered Penn State Behrend Lions. They're gonna have to take what they learned from these 2 games and bring it to whoever they play in the Sweet 16. Oneonta looks really good though. It looks like they can make an even deeper run into this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if they got to the Final Four.
And they played today also. Without we have to mention, no Gary Laron, no Matt Brown. Huge win for them without 2 guys that mean so much to that team, and they were able to get the 4-0 win. Let's take a look at a replay of that last goal again if we could. This was Jonathan Kowalski, essentially the icing on the cake to give Oneonta their 4th goal of the game. Right up and over Chris Bolea. Puts it in the back of the net. Oneonta goes on to win 4-0. We are going to take a quick timeout, and we will come back with a post-game report. Please stay tuned.
How would you like to save your life from an ugly, reckless driving death? Don't answer yet. There's more. Act now by slowing down, and we'll guarantee you complete satisfaction. That's awesome!
In the real world, there is no spokesperson to prevent reckless driving. There's only you. Speak up.
Whoa, Andy, slow down.
So, April.
Yeah?
You know your charger's still using energy when it's plugged into the wall, right?
Yeah, but that's not my charger. I don't even have a cell phone.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away?
It's fine. Thanks.
Especially because I'll let him know. Who do you want to talk to? Eric and
Welcome back to Red Dragon Soccer Field. Billy Blake and Greg Bear here with you. A great win for the Oneonta State Red Dragons today, 4-0 over the Penn State Behrend Lions. They did it without Gary Laron. They did it without Matt Brown. Jeff Christian got the first goal of the game, And from that point on, Greg, it was just all Oneonta.
No, it was all Oneonta. Really, the entirety of this game. Penn State Behrend had a few opportunities in the first half, but really, Oneonta was able to control the majority of this game, and in the second half, they completely dominated.
And this game was very physical. A lot of yellow cards issued. Jack Leslie, one of the defenders for Penn State, got 2 yellow cards, so he got the red card and was ejected. Talk about how physical this game was, and just how much of some of the energy from maybe yesterday's game drained Penn State, and that resulted in their 4-0
you
loss
know what?
today.
They really hung on yesterday against Hobart. I did the game with RJ Elizondo, and we were there. We saw it. It was one of the most exciting finishes to a game, and that is emotionally draining. And when they started getting down 2-3 goals, it started getting very chippy, and that's what happens in the game of soccer. You get down a few goals, and then you're try to be very physical, and that's what happens. A lot of yellow cards, which eventually led to the red card for Jack Leslie and the Kowalski goal because he was not in the game.
We did receive word that St. Lawrence did beat Western New England 3-2, so Oneonta will take on St. Lawrence in the round of 16. St. Lawrence hasn't lost a game this season, 18 or 19 wins, I believe, with 2 ties. What will it take for Oneonta to win that game and go on to the round of 8?
You know what? They need to bring their players back. Matt Brown is a phenomenal player, as is Gary Laurent. They're going to need those guys to be playing their best. Their defense really needs to step it up. They have only given up 1 goal in 2 games, but you could see that they have a little bit of trouble in the back sometimes, and they got to be efficient. They have to make sure that they put away their opportunities, but I think this Oneonta team is a really good team, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
It's been quite a weekend here in Oneonta at Red Dragon Soccer Field as the men's soccer team gets over Baldwin Wallace and the Penn State Behrend Lions to advance to the round of 16. For Mike Waltman, Greg Barra, I'm Billy Blake. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Thanks and welcome back. We're with Coach. Coach, 4-0 win, round of 16. First time in a long time. First time for you. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great for the guys. You know, you see how much they've put into the effort they've put into it. It's really been a 3-4 year project. We've got, you know, quite a few seniors and juniors that have, you know, been building towards this, and we're just putting it all together. We're confident in each other. And we're coming out, we're attacking, we're putting teams under pressure, and you know, we're getting goals. This year the key's being we're scoring, and against some good teams too. So we're very pleased, it's great.
You have to wait to see who you're playing. Is that anxiety going to build up overnight, or you're just going to go enjoy the win?
No, we're going to enjoy it. I think we'll be up at St. Lawrence again. I heard they scored in overtime. So, you know, they've been the #1 team in the country. They're undefeated this year. We went up there early in the year and we played them up there, and we lost 3-2, but it was a good game. It's a similar feel to this, so we're comfortable up there playing on it, and we've got to find an extra goal now. So get it to 3-3 and then go win it.
What are you looking forward to in the upcoming weeks in the next round of the tournament?
Sure. The nerves are piling on, I tell you. The further you go, the more, you know, tingly you get. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. We've got to keep everybody, you know, everyone's feet on the ground, and just keep working hard and keep playing. And we had some guys step up today. We lost a few players through injury, and you know, the backups did a great job.
How do you expect those players that have been sitting out, how do you think that it's going to affect your team later on?
I think it helps you because it gets other players a chance to really play some good minutes. A couple of the young players, Scott Taglione and Mitch Kane, played today, played a lot. Both did great. You know, good young players. We've been trying to get the goalie, Dan DeBotta, some minutes, but he's hurt, sick, you name it. Everything's been wrong with him this year, but we finally got him 15, 20 minutes today. Just let him get the feel of the game.
Well, Coach, you said it yourself when we were walking over here, a great weekend for a great day of soccer, going to the round of 16. For all of everyone at The Wire, I'm Mike Wellman. This is Ian Byrne. Thanks for staying tuned.